Are you learning English but find it difficult or confusing, even mysterious? Well, don't worry. On this show, I'll answer your questions about the English language and help you clear up these mysteries. It's Hardboiled English Live. I'm Teacher Paul, your host, English instructor, tutor, and frankly, a language detective. I love digging into the English language and helping confusing and mysterious. We're broadcasting to you live from Vancouver, Canada, right here in the Hardboiled English Media Studios. And we do the format of this show is simple. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm also the creator of the Hardboiled English YouTube channel. And on that channel, you can find a whole range of video projects. Some of them I make with my English students. For example, English Weirdness, which is my long-form series. English Weirdness is my long-form series. You can find that. And these are 30-minute episodes wherein each one explores some strange and confusing part of the English language. Right now we're up to episode 9, but I have some good news that I'll get to in a minute. Also on the channel, you can find a series called English Confidential. Now, English Confidential is styled like an old 1950s trashy newspaper column. And what I do is I expose some of the ways native English speakers, make a problem that learners might imitate. Native speakers aren't perfect. They make a lot of errors themselves. And sometimes you learners imitate this and end up following them making the error. So I focus on some of the errors native speakers make. In addition, I am available for private lessons if you need some really focused extra help. Maybe you're preparing for an exam, maybe you're writing an essay for university. Whatever the case, if you're interested in taking private online lessons with me, go to my website, www.teacherpaulsclassroom.com, and send me an email from there. Also on the website, you can find out details about how we go about with private lessons. Okay. I want to look back quickly at 2020 because a lot happened in 2020. And on New Year's Eve, we had a great show with some guests. So I want to thank all the guests I've had this year. These include regular guest and co-host Anish Dea, who's in Toronto running his school On the Spot Language. We've also had some former students like Youngdae Choi, Jorge from Panama joined us. We had Sylvia from Mexico. And another former student named Valessa, who is a practicing psychologist from Brazil. She was on our New Year's Eve show and gave us some tips about how to improve our mental health going forward during the pandemic. We also had teacher James Marshall from Thailand and his great puppets. They were on our show. So I'm forgetting some guests we've also had, but I just want to say thank you guys for joining the show, especially Anish, who joins the show a couple of times a month to give his perspective on language learning. Going forward, 2021, I've got some exciting new projects happening. In February, for example, I'll be releasing episode number 10 of English Weirdness. Right now, you can see up to episodes from 1 until 9. Episode 10 will come out in February. After English Weirdness comes out, because it takes so much time for each episode, it takes months to shoot, to write, shoot, edit, and promote these videos. English Weirdness is a big project. When it's done, I'll have much more time to devote to the shorter video projects like English Confidential. So you can expect new episodes of English Confidential coming out soon. On the YouTube channel also, you can find the recordings of these live shows in full, including the 2-hour shows we did on Christmas and New Year's. I'll also be posting shorter highlight clips. So we've got one started already, and these are clips from the live show. This one's about nouns, count nouns, and uncount nouns. We've been asked several times, so on a couple of the shows I explained this. So I've compiled this into a short clip focusing only on count and uncount nouns. This is a very simple video. It's a highlight from this show, but it's something you can watch in a short period of time. So we'll be doing that more often, taking from the live show little segments that focus on something that may be interesting to you. In addition, I have several other short form series in development. These include things like grammar basics. So I'll have little lessons, actually prepared lessons with simple graphics and animations. I'll be doing some more writing masterclass videos where we focus on specific writing techniques that may help you. If you've been to the channel, you know that I have a playlist of research paper writing webinars. They're very simple webinars, but I'm also going to continue that and expand it and in a similar way present writing masterclass technique. I'm also going to develop more of the 5-minute mystery series. All of these have been, on the back burner because English Weirdness takes up so much time. So once English Weirdness episode 10 is out, we won't have any more episodes of that coming out for a while, so I'll have more time at my disposal. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and get all the news about all these projects. And as usual, every week we'll be bringing you this live show. So if you're joining the show, please say hello in the comment box and tell us what country you're from. It's really great to know the various viewers out there and the countries they're in. That's really exciting. So right there in the chat box, let's say hello to everyone. So far we have Robin Cardillo saying hello. We have Julie saying, howdy, everybody. Julie, I think you might be a first-time viewer. If you are, where are you watching from? We have Duka. I'm not sure where she's from. We have Aiko Miyazaki. Hello, Aiko. So say hello and tell us where you're from. That's really exciting to know. Who else is joining us? It's great to get a sense of where our viewers are. Over the past month, we've had viewers from all kinds of places like Bangladesh, Libya, Morocco. We've had Nigeria in the house. We've had, of course, our friends in Brazil and Colombia and Japan and Korea, and some regular viewers in Canada, but who originally come from other countries. Aiko from Japan. Welcome, Aiko Miyazaki. Okay, well, as we get started, it's often takes a few minutes to get people to join us. If you have a question about English, something specific, write your question in the comment thread, and I'll see if I can give you an answer. Oh, we have Aya's Notes joining us. Happy New Year, Aya. Originally from Japan, currently living in Vancouver. So Aiko saying somehow I couldn't join from YouTube. That's interesting, Aiko. Not sure what to tell you because we do have Aya's Notes, Duka, and Julie on YouTube. Sometimes the show doesn't start at 5 exactly on YouTube. There's a slight delay. So if you look for the show at 5, maybe it's not ready yet. Or maybe it's not connected. Maybe you could try it again now. Regardless, Aiko, you're with us on Facebook. It's fine. We can see your comments, and that's the important thing. Robin Cardillo, I wonder if you could check us on YouTube and see if it's broadcasting on YouTube correctly. Oh, okay. We've got a checker right here. Everything's working. I'm not sure what to tell you, Aiko. Did you try to join at exactly 5 p.m.? Because sometimes there's a little delay. Okay. Well, Aiko, as long as you're with us on Facebook, doesn't matter. Facebook and YouTube are the two best places. Any questions, guys? Any questions about English that I can try to answer for you? Also, you'll notice I look down a lot. That's because the comment monitor is right below the camera. I don't have a teleprompter like on TV or politics. I have to look down. Well, I'm going to start with a question that someone sent me today. So sometimes regular viewers who know the show is coming, but maybe they have to work or go to school or something, send me some comments if they're connected on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube with me. So a viewer asked me this question. They said, "Teacher, I was told this is wrong, but I don't know why." And the example sentence is, "This is Japanese common error." Sometimes my pens don't work so well, so forgive me if you see one flying past the camera. This is, there we go, Japanese. Can everyone see that nice and clearly? This is Japanese common error. Well, I'm going to explain this, what's wrong with this, but here's what I'd like you guys to do. Pay attention to what I do on the board and how I analyze this, because it's not always about what knowledge I have that you don't have. I'm able to tell you what's wrong with this because I go back to the basics. Every sentence, when you read a sentence or hear a sentence, I want you to try to remember or identify the main parts. What are the parts of speech happening? Because sometimes that's where you can understand something. So for example, this is the subject, the word this, and the verb is the be verb is. Then I want you to think about what kind of words we have down here. So for example, what kind of word is Japanese? Well, in the case of the word Japanese or English, it can have two meanings. It can have two word forms. It could be a noun, right? It could be the name of the language, Japanese, right? It could be a noun, but it can also be an adjective, like Japanese people. People's a noun, Japanese is an adjective. Or Canadian people, Canadian teacher. Canadian is a noun, and Canadian is the adjective, teacher is the noun. So we're not sure what form this word is yet, but let's keep going. How about common? Does anyone know what kind of word common is? Is it a verb? Is it a noun? I want you to type this in the comment box. And also, what kind of word is error? Is error an adjective? Is it an adverb? Is it a verb? Is it a noun? Who knows? I want you to type in what you think. So what kind of word is common? What part of speech? And what part of speech is error? A little quiz for you. Who knows? Possibly takes a minute for people to answer. Okay. Everyone's shy to answer because they don't want to be wrong, I guess. Okay. Well, common is an adjective. And adjectives typically come before a noun. So if this is the last word in the sentence, it's probably a noun. And indeed it is. Error is our noun. So in fact, we have subject, verb, and a noun down here. This is our object. So now we have a complete sentence. We have subject, verb, object. And because this is a noun, I'm thinking that this is probably another adjective. Adjective, adjective. Okay? Okay, Aiko's answer is good. Error is a noun, correct? And Bera, where are you from, Bera? Bangladesh, right? Yep, great, welcome. This whole thing is a complement because we have a be verb. So this whole side of the sentence is what we call a complement. Inside the complement, we have three parts. We have adjective, adjective, noun. So the original question was, why is this wrong? And I'm going to show you why it's wrong. In English, when we have more than one adjective in front of a noun, we have to think about the order. And there's a very specific order. I'm going to lay it out for you. I'm going to put it down here so we can build something. Now, we don't usually have more than one adjective in front of a noun. but we can. It's not common to have 3 or 4 adjectives, but you can. And when you do, you have to think about the order. Now this is going to be small. I'm just running out of room, guys, so forgive me. I'm going to put the noun at the end. Okay, this is the sequence we need to follow. When we have more than one adjective, we need a determiner first. So that's the, and etc. Okay, that has to come first before all the adjectives. Now, if you have a bunch of adjectives, this is the order you need to follow. The first one is where you put opinions or observations, like awesome, or cool, or nice, or beautiful. Things that describe the noun, but from your subjective opinion or observation, something you can see. The tall, right? Our first adjective is the word Japanese. Well, that doesn't quite sound like an opinion or observation. So let's figure out what kind of adjective that is. The next in the sequence would be physical descriptions, right? And they go in this sequence. Size is number 1. Shape is number 2. So size would be huge, large, small, right? Shape would be round, square, triangular. And then age, number 3. 50 years old, 20. You could even use old or young in that position. And color would be number 4, physical description of the color. Blue. Okay, we don't have any of those here. We're not talking about something with size. An error doesn't really have size. It doesn't even have shape. It's not even physical. It's abstract. It's concept. But here we go. Origin. Where does the error come from? Well, my analysis is telling you that Japanese is the origin of the error. This is an error that comes from Japan. It's from Japanese learners. So it's a Japanese, it goes here. Okay? Material. Well, we're not talking about something in the word error that has physical object, right? So it can't be made of plastic or cotton, right? But if it were an object like jacket, if the noun were jacket, it could be made of cotton or wool. And the origin might be Italian, although this is a cheap jacket, it's probably not Italian, okay? Now, right before the noun is where we put what we call qualifiers or noun adjuncts. And these can be other nouns, right? For example, I could say language error. Language error. Language is a noun. Error is the other noun. And by the way, guys, I have a whole video about this, how to use nouns as adjectives. It's very common in English. For example, tea, cup. Tea is a noun. Cup is a noun. Noun, noun. That's very common. Very, very common. Okay? So this is the sequence we need to follow. And let's see if we are following it in this sentence. We have Japanese, which is origin. Then we have common. So whoever said this thinks that this is a common error. Someone else might think it's not a very common error. So this is actually an observation or opinion, right? Which is supposed to come first. And then we have our noun. So what's wrong with this sentence? Quite simply, these are out of sequence. Now, by the way, I work with a lot of Japanese students. In fact, I teach a high school of Japanese students every month. And I know that this structure is very typical for Japanese learners. They want to put the word Japanese first. And maybe in the Japanese language, the origin goes first. And that may be cultural and historical because societies like Japan or Korea or China emphasize the nationality, the origin. They emphasize it, so they often put it first, perhaps. I don't know if that's the exactly reason, but in English, it doesn't come first. It comes down here in this sequence. Okay? Hopefully that answers the question of the student who asked me this question. We have Borislav joining us. We have Bargain Betty joining us. Okay, Duka has a question. I'll just pause for a moment and clean my board because it's always a challenge. For those of you who work with whiteboards, I'm not sponsored, but this is a great product. I'll tell you why, and I'll demonstrate. Because unlike the brushes that just smudge your whiteboard marker, this actually cleans it. And not only does it clean it, it dries almost instantly, which allows you to keep writing. So if you're a teacher and you happen to use whiteboards and you suffer from the same drama all the time as I do, which is I can't clean off my whiteboard in time for the next question. This stuff works. Now the challenge is, of course, I've written a lot of crap on here and it's hard to get it off. Okay, well, that'll have to work. Okay, Duka's question is, let's pop it up. Stop by and drop by. Okay, this is a great question, and I'm going to show you why once my board is clean. Okay. So let's say you're talking to your friend on the phone, and your friend says, hey, come over to my house and watch America's Funniest Videos with me. Or come over to my house and we'll watch Teacher Paul live on Thursday night. Okay. And you tell your friend on the phone, okay. See, it's working already. Pretty cool. I'll stop by at 5 p.m. Okay. Okay. I'll drop by at 5 p.m. So what we can see here is that these two expressions work identically the same way in the sentence, right? Structurally, grammatically, structurally, sequence, totally the same. They're both phrasal verbs, so they have two parts. They have a verb and they have a preposition. And they have the same preposition, just the verb is different. So let's focus on the meaning, because the grammar is identical. But language doesn't work on grammar alone. Language is like a lasagna. It has layers. One layer is grammar, but it also has layers of other considerations, other things we should think about, like meaning, right? Other layers like convention, the way we use it. The way we use language now in 2021 is different than the way they used language in 1950. Same language, English, but they spoke differently. Different things were accepted. That's called convention. So is there a difference? Well, there's no difference in the grammar. Okay, so let's clear that up. Grammar and structure, same. Okay, so what about the meaning? As Duka points out in her question, does it give a different impression? Does it have a different connotation? Sometimes grammar can be the same, but one meaning could be a little bit more positive, another meaning could be a little more negative. Something can be communicated, not through the grammar, but a different meaning. The trick is to focus on what's different here. Everything is the same in the sentence, except the verb. Okay. What's different about these two verbs? Okay, we're talking about you coming to visit your friend. So you're traveling. Maybe you're driving or taking the bus. If you stop at your friend's home, it sounds to me like you planned it, right? You planned it. You intentionally stopped, right? You pulled over, parked your car. You had everything planned. It sounds to me with intentional. It sounds intentional. Like maybe you and your friend planned this for a long time, right? Maybe not. How about drop? When you drop something, you don't normally intend to do that, right? I don't spray this and go, I think I'll drop this now. Usually when you drop something, it's an accident, right? You drop something by accident. So that verb communicates a little bit more like accident or accidental. Okay? It sounds maybe like you're driving home from work with no plan, but your friend phones you and says, hey, come over. And you say, sure, I have nothing to do. I'll drop by. It sounds a bit more accidental. And the reason is the meaning of the verb is a little bit different than the meaning of this verb. That's the only different thing, right? But every word, if it's different, communicates something a little bit different through the overall sentence. Okay? So, can you use them interchangeably to mean the same thing? Yeah, you could, right? The meaning difference is not huge, right? Hey, Teacher Paul, come on by my house and we'll watch the basketball game. Okay, cool. I'll stop by at 5. Okay, cool. I'll drop by at 5. Not a big difference, right? Not a big difference. But if you ask me, there's a tiny bit of communication difference expressed here. This sounds a bit more intentional, like you and your friend planned you to stop by. Or maybe you have a second thing you have to go do. I'll stop by at 5, but I can only stay until 6. At 6, I have to leave. I have another appointment. So you're scheduling your stops, like a bus. This one definitely sounds more accidental. More like you and your friend are planning this right now. It's a surprise. You didn't plan it. It's just happening now. And it's kind of an accident. You didn't expect your friend to ask you to come over. Okay? But the difference is pretty small. And grammatically works the same way. Okay? Anyone else have a question? What I like about that question is there's really 2 levels about it. One is the grammar. Is the grammar the same? And the other is maybe there's a different meaning expressed. And maybe when you say it, it conveys a different meaning to someone. And that's how I want you to think about English when you're learning. It's not just a question of grammar. Is this correct or is it not? As you get more advanced with your English, you have to think about these other possibilities. Are there differences in meaning communicated? Are there differences in connotation? Connotation is the sort of emotional meaning. Right? Emotional meaning. Is it positive or negative? I'll give you an example. In the 1950s, the word cool was considered really bad. Right? If you told your parents in 1950, yeah, I have a new friend. He's really cool. Your parents are like, whoa, stop hanging around that friend. Cool meant very underground. Maybe they do drugs. Maybe they're involved with crime, right? It had a very dark, negative meaning. Of course, in the 2000s, we think cool is positive. Cool has 2 meanings, really. It means calm. No matter what happens, you're calm, like James Bond, right? Things explode, cars crash, but he's calm. That's cool. Another meaning of cool is sort of generalized just to mean good, awesome. Something is cool, it's good, it's positive. So meanings change. Connotations change over time. Connotations. And it's got nothing to do with grammar. It's got nothing to do with the dictionary. A connotation emerges from culture. What happens in the culture gives things new meanings, right? Because they can become connected with other things that happen in the world, in society. Let's have a look at Aya's notes question. This is a good question. Hold on, guys. My whiteboard is falling apart. Little emergency. Okay. You may not realize it, but I'm actually not in a classroom. This is my home office. And this whiteboard is mounted on my bookshelf. So it's a little dangerous sometimes. Okay. Aya, I remain at your disposal. And by the way, guys, if you don't know this already, Aya's Notes is an excellent video log. Aya is a former student of mine who chronicles her life with really cool videos. So check it out. And she focused over the New Year on the way Japanese people celebrate New Year. Very interesting. Okay, I remain at disposal. Okay, I want you to forget about this because this could be many verbs. I am at your disposal. I will be. Usually it's a copula, which is be verbs, connecting verbs, so on. At disposal is the term here, at disposal. Now, disposal has a couple of meanings. One, it means to put something into the garbage. Okay? And that includes the verb form, to dispose, right? To dispose of something means to put it in the garbage. So a couple of times a week, I dispose of all my leftover cans and bottles into the recycle. I dispose of them. But why? We dispose of something because we don't need it. It's not necessary. Okay? So number two meaning is unnecessary. I'm not spelling that right. Okay, it's not necessary. So at your disposal means it's not necessary. It's sort of extra. So for example, sometimes we have a term in economics and home finance called the adjective disposable. You might hear the expression disposable income. Now this is money that you don't need for rent, you don't need for food, you don't need for any bills. It's leftover money, extra money. It's disposable income because you can put it in the garbage and you don't get kicked out of your apartment. You can put it in the garbage and you can still eat. Okay, this is extra money left over after you pay your bills. So that can lead us to our meaning here. At your disposal, if we take those meanings of garbage or unnecessary or extra, it means at your disposal, okay, it means I am extra. I am extra. I am not necessary, which really means I'm available. Right? I'm not necessary means I don't have any job to do. I don't have any work to do. I don't have any special appointments. I have nothing to do. I am not necessary anywhere. Nobody needs me right now. So you can do what you want with me. I am at your disposal. When I say I am at your disposal, you can treat me like garbage. It's a very polite expression because you're giving the other person kind of the power to treat you like garbage. Of course, that's not the meaning, but that's kind of where it comes from. I'm not needed anywhere. I'm not necessary anywhere. I'm kind of extra. So I'm free. I'm available for you. Please do what you want with me. Okay? So for example, Aya, every week I do this show and I am at your disposal. I have no real plan for the show unless I have guests planned. So you decide what I do. I'm available to you. I am at your disposal. Okay? Throw me in the garbage if you want. Hopefully you won't throw me in the garbage. Hopefully you'll ask me questions about English, right? At your disposal then means I'm available to you. So Aya, you probably heard this with work, right? In business. Yeah, at the end of a business email. Can you pop that up, please? Somebody said this at the end of a business email. Exactly where you'd expect to find it. It means if you need that person, they're available, right? Even if they're busy, what they're saying is that if you need me, contact me. I will stop what I'm doing and be available to you. I'm at your disposal. It's a very polite thing to say because really you're giving yourself to the other person and you're giving them the power to treat you like garbage, to dispose of you. Of course they won't, right? But that's what makes the expression polite, is that you're giving the other person power, right? You're basically saying, you can throw me in the garbage if you want, but please treat me nicely, right? That's where politeness comes from, giving the other person power to say no, to say yes, to use you in some way. It's very polite. So it's a good expression, Aya, and I hope you can practice using it. I remain at your disposal. I am at your disposal, right? Remain at your disposal just means I'm going to stay ready for you. I'm going to stay available, right? Hopefully that answers your question, Aya. If not, we can discuss it another time in more detail. Who else has a question? Oh, Hamat Chun. Guys, I want you to do something for me because some people are joining a little bit late. Please say hello and tell us where you're from. We've got some new viewers joining us. Please tell us what country you're watching from. It's really fun to get to see where everyone's from. I know we have Japan with us. We have Boris, who's in the Ukraine, regular viewer. We have Aya's Notes, who's from Japan, but she's in Vancouver right now. We have Bere, hopefully I'm saying your name right, Bere Majim. I believe you're from Bangladesh. We have Aiko, who's with us, originally from Japan, but she's also in Canada. We have Bargain Betty, who is from the moon, she tells us. But please type in where you're from. We have Owen Hemseth from Salt Lake City, Salt Lake, Cal. We have Bangladesh in the house. We have Bargain Betty from the moon. Perfect. We have Aya's Notes. Okay, we answered her question. Oh, Bere Majim is from Mexico. Thanks for joining us, Bere. Sorry, for some reason I thought you were from Bangladesh. We have Irem. Irem, if I'm not mistaken, is from Turkey, right, Irem? Owen's admitting to a typo. I like that. This is an English learning show, so admitting to typos is cool. We learn from these errors. Who else do we have with us? We have Abir from Bangladesh. Welcome, Abir. And we also have... Oh, can we go up to that question, Abir Ahmed? Okay, we'll hold on to that question for a minute. It's not really a question, it's kind of a statement. So guys, when you type your questions in the comment box, try to be as specific as possible and structure things into an actual question and try to be specific. Otherwise, I'm not actually sure what you're asking. The more specific, the more helpful I can be. Great, so we've got all kinds of people with us. We've got Owen from Salt Lake City. We've got Abir from Bangladesh. We've got Mere from Mexico. We've got Irem from Turkey. Hamat. We have Hamat Chune. Hamat Chune. Where are you from, Hamat? Please type in your country. And thank you for joining us, guys. It's been a good show so far. And we usually go for an hour, but on occasions when we have guests, as we did on New Year's Eve, we'll do this for 2 hours. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, Bargain Betty from the moon. One of these days, guys, if you help me pressure her with your comments, we're going to get Bargain Betty to confess publicly on the air live where she's really from. I know you guys, I'm not saying you're dishonest, but I have a suspicion Bargain Betty is not really on the moon. I'll tell you why. Because recently China went to the moon with a satellite of some kind of probe, and Bargain Betty doesn't sound like she's a member of the Chinese astronaut team. So I'm suspicious. Okay, guys, we have 20 minutes left, so I'm going to take some more questions. If you have some more questions I can answer, please pop it into the comment thread. Bargain Betty's laughing. Ha, 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 Bargain Betty. From the moon. Am I stupid? Am I foolish? Or are you really from the moon? I suspect. I suspect foul play here. I suspect a crime in progress. I'll take you at your word for now, Bargain Betty from the moon, but I'm a little suspicious. Okay, guys, let me just take a moment here to recap. This year we're going to have new episodes of English Weirdness popping up. So look for those on the channel, Teacher Paul's Hardboiled English. Episode 10 will be out in February. And once that's out, we'll have a lot more of the short form series, English Confidential, appearing on the YouTube channel, English Confidential. And in this series, we focus on some of the errors native speakers make. Because if you're a language learner, like a lot of you are, sometimes you imitate your favorite pop star, maybe movie stars, and you hear them say things that may not be exactly correct or accurate English. So I want to make sure we don't pick up bad habits. And as always, guys, I'm available for private lessons online if you need help with something specific. So go to my website, teacherpaulsclassroom.com, and send me an email from there. Okay. Any new questions popping up? What do we have here? Aiko has a great question. Let's pop her question up. Aiko's asking, what is the difference between affect and effect? Great question, Aiko. Great question. Let me see if I can get my board clear. I'm going to put two sentences up here. I want you guys to tell me the parts of the sentence. The same thing I did with the earlier sentence. I want to see if you can do the breakdown. Okay. Let's say learning has a good effect. Okay. Rain affects me. Okay, I want you guys to tell me what parts of speech we have here. What's the subject? What's the verb? What's the object? What's the subject? What's the verb? What's the object? Type it in the comments now. Okay, sentence number 1. Sentence number 2. Little quiz. Quiz time. I know the answer, but I don't want to just feed it to you right away. I want to see if you can do this technique I've been prescribing of breaking down the sentence into its parts. Okay. A little delay here, so we'll just pause for a moment. Learning has a good effect. Rain affects me. Now, these two sentences are correct. I'll tell you that much. They're both correct. Which way do you guys do your check marks? That way or that way? Left-handed or right-handed? I like both. Okay, we have a new message popping up. Let's have a peek. Okay, number 1. Subject is learning. Perfect. In the number 1 sentence, verb is has, good. And object is affect, right? Good is going to be the adjective. So we can say this whole thing is the object. That's fine. How about number 2? Who knows the parts of speech for this one? This one's good. We have subject, verb, object. Abir says this is a verb. Okay, correct. What else? Rain, subject. Verb, affect. Me is the object. Perfect, guys. Great job. So let's look at this closely. Because the original question was, what's the difference between affect and effect? Well, effect here is the object. That means it's got to be a noun. Because we don't put verbs in the object position. They can be on the other side, but that they take a different structure, as like a complement structure. Down here, affect is the verb. There's your answer, Aiko. The difference is simple. One's a verb, one's a noun. Okay? The meaning is related, right? We know what an effect is, and when something affects me, that means it has a result on me. It has an impact. It has an effect on me. The meaning is similar. The meaning is connected, but the part of speech is different. So as I said earlier, you know, language is like a lasagna. We have different things we have to think of. We have grammar, we have meaning, we have convention, right? Sometimes the grammar is different. Verb, noun, that's a different grammar. Sometimes the meaning is the same, right? And sometimes the grammar is the same. Like with stop by and drop by, the grammar was the same, but the meaning was different. We have to think about all these things when we're looking at problems. Now, there is one strange exception, okay, where affect can be a noun. It's rare, it's not common, but affect means kind of like mood, okay, or emotional expression. Sometimes we might say, that person has a dark affect. That means the mood or emotional expression that their body, their language, their expression on their face has. An overall affect, an overall mood or tone. Or you might say, that person has a very happy affect. Okay? And then it's a noun, but this is not very common. It's good to know. You know, we should know uncommon things too, not just common things. If you know only common things, you become common. I don't know about you guys, I don't want to be common. So we should know uncommon things and common things. But this is the big difference, guys. Effect is a noun. Affect is a verb. Sometimes that's the difference. But what I really like here is that you guys solved this mystery using the breakdown technique. And no matter how advanced you are, no matter how sophisticated your English skill is, it's always good to go back to basics because every sentence has a subject. Every sentence has a verb. Now, we don't need an object, but sometimes it has an object because you can have a sentence like, I run, period. You know, it's my hobby, subject, verb. That's a clause. So every sentence has at least a subject and a verb. It has to. Otherwise, it's not a sentence in English. Okay? Happy! That's not a sentence. So no matter what you're reading or hearing, if it's confusing to you, it's probably because you've lost the subject or lost the verb, right? Every sentence has one. So always go back to basics and identify the subject and verb. Now, there might be several nouns. There might even be several verbs. But there's still only one main subject and one main verb in every sentence. Okay? So, great question. Thank you for that one. Let's put Irem's question about here. Pop this one up. This one's good. She has a question about here. Irem, right there. Up. Yeah. Thank you for joining the show, Irem. Long time no hear from, long time no see. We also have JNQR, Paula from Brazil, right? Joining us. Yeah, this is a good question. Sorry, let me give you a better example. How much room do I have? Can you see that, guys? Yesterday, I came to here. This is a very common mistake, but it is a mistake. Tirath. We have Tirath from Nepal joining us. Thank you for joining us. Great. Yesterday, I came to here. Okay, let's identify the parts. Let's break it down. Subject. This is an adverb of time. It tells us when we did the verb. I came. When? Yesterday. Adverbs answer questions that pop up when we say the verb, right? It's a great way to test, is it an adverb or not? Cut the sentence down to its basic verb clause. I came. What questions do you have? I came. When? How? Why? All of those questions are answered by adverbs, okay? But that's a different topic. I came to here. Well, we have to, which is a preposition. Try to remember this, guys. This will help you a lot. Prepositions do one thing. They only do one thing in English grammar. They connect nouns. Prepositions connect nouns. Now, they connect nouns to other words. Oops, can't see that. Connect nouns. They connect nouns to other nouns like pen in hand. Pen in hand, two nouns. But they can connect nouns to other parts of the sentence. The bottom line is they connect nouns. Well, look closely. We have a verb here, then a preposition. So where's the noun? Here? I have some bad news for you guys. Here is not a noun. Many people think it is. Here is not a noun. So we can't use a preposition to connect it. It's not a noun. I came to here. It sounds like it's a noun, here. It's not though. Here is an adverb. Again, let's test this. If you just say, I came, someone might ask when. So the answer is yesterday. That's an adverb. I came, where? I want to know where you did that action. I'm asking a where question. And it's about the verb. Therefore, the answer is an adverb. I came here. This is an adverb of direction. It's not a noun, so we can't have to. It's an adverb. I came here. Now, in my example, here is my apartment, my home, right? And home can be an adverb and a noun. But let's say apartment. What if you chose apartment? Apartment is clearly a noun, definitely a noun. So I need to connect it because I can't say yesterday I came apartment. Doesn't work. I came to apartment. Even that's not finished. We'd have to say my apartment, right? So we can use this preposition with this because apartment's a noun. Here is not a noun. Okay, so if you've been saying that, I came to here, or I really like, I want to visit to here, don't say it. It's an adverb. It has to work without a preposition, okay? There's another example of that that's quite famous. Very famous because I made a video about it. Actually, the second episode of English Weirdness. The second episode. This is a very common error. The word downtown. A lot of people say this. I came to downtown, or I took the bus to downtown, or even I live in downtown. The problem with this is these are prepositions, so this must be a noun. The problem is downtown is not a noun. Downtown is an adverb or an adjective. Okay? So we can't do this. we have to do either this. I came downtown. I came. Where? Downtown. It's an adverb. I live. I live. Where, teacher? I live downtown. It's an adverb of direction. Now, sometimes we can say, I live downtown Vancouver. That's the city that I live in. I live in downtown Vancouver. Or I came to downtown Vancouver. In that example, it's an adjective because we have a noun here. Vancouver is a noun. It's a proper noun, right? If you have that noun there, this becomes an adjective. And because it's a noun, we can use the preposition. So I can say this. I came to downtown Vancouver. I live in downtown Vancouver. But especially if we all live in Vancouver, we might not need to say Vancouver. We might just want to say downtown. But if we take away the noun, we must take away the preposition because there's no noun to connect. And if there's no noun and there's no preposition, this is not an adjective anymore. It's changing its function and becomes an adverb, which is not modifying a noun. It's an adverb modifying the verb. Now, as I mentioned, this is more detail. There's more detail explained in the episode of English Weirdness, number 2, featuring a wonderful student named Diego, who does some dancing in the video. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. Yeah, Tirith says, here is an adverb of place. It's really an adverb of direction because it's not a specific place. It's an area. It's an sort of like a direction you're aiming at. It ends up being a place, but it's like saying I ran north, right? Here's an adverb of place. Let's look at Gen QR, Paula's question, and this might be our last one, guys. So it's on the same topic. Let me just clear this off. This is related to prepositions. What's the difference between important to me? Important for me. Okay, good. It is important to me. Let's say English. And when we put these two examples beside each other, we can see what is similar and what's different. And quite clearly, almost everything is similar, except for the two prepositions. Now, this is good because we have a subject, a verb, we have an adjective, and finally we have our object, which is a noun. But we have these two prepositions. So grammatically, we have the same structure. Now, I'll tell you right now, guys, that these are both good sentences. So, Paula, both are possible, right? Both are possible. Both are good grammar. But remember the lasagna. Grammar is just one part of the lasagna. We have other things to think about, like meaning, convention. We've talked a lot about that today. The grammar is the same here. We're using a preposition and then a noun in the same sentence structure. What's different here is the meaning. These prepositions mean something different. The preposition to usually works with the idea of something moving from to, like music. We listen to music. It's impossible to say listen music. Music moves from your stereo to your ear, from stereo to ear. So we say I listen to music, right? I flew from Vancouver to Brazil. Now, if you know where I'm coming from, I don't have to say from. I can just say I flew to Brazil. Important to me. Well, nothing's really moving here. We don't have a movement verb. When we use it like this, we're talking about English to me, the movement of English to me, okay? And what you're expressing with this is that English is close to me. It has moved, and now it's to me. So you're basically saying English is important to me. It's close. It's, let's say, close to my heart. it has moved close, right? And this is an opinion, right? This is close to me. It's important to me, maybe only to me, right? The English has moved from somewhere to me, and now it's close to me. So it's important for me. It's important to me. I just mix that up. It's important to me, in my opinion. Maybe only me, because it has moved to me. The important thing here I want you to remember is maybe it's important only to me. Okay? So you're emphasizing that it's your unique, important thing, right? Other things are not important to you. The preposition for expresses reason. Okay? This pen is for writing. That's the purpose or reason. This show is for you. That's not expressing movement or closeness, right? It's expressing reason. The purpose of this live show is for you to ask questions. It's for you. So here we have English is important for me. So you are the reason it's important. Okay, so the difference here is something slightly different. Important to me means it's really close. It's important closely to you. It's very important. So you're expressing closeness. And it's kind of limited to you. It's limited that it's only important to you, maybe not other people. Okay, it's kind of limiting where the importance or the English traveled to. Important for me, you are the reason. This pen is important for writing. Okay? Now the difference is pretty small in this example. Okay? The difference is pretty small. When you want to express that something is important only to you, use this one. And also by using these, we can also emphasize different parts of the sentence. Here, this for me emphasizes the reason, okay? And it's emphasizing important. Sorry, maybe let me make this bubble a little differently. This gets messy. This one emphasizes the fact that it's important. For who? For me. It's important to me. You're emphasizing me. Different parts of the sentence, meaning, right? Not the grammar, the meaning, slight emphasis. Now this is tricky, Paula, because the difference is not very large. And in fact, when you say the whole sentence, you can interchange them, right? There might be different examples where the difference is more wide, more distinct, more diverse. I can't think of one right now. Give me some time and I will. Okay? Paula, I hope that answers your question. Hope that helps clarify. In summary, I would say you can use both pretty interchangeably because the difference of meaning is so small. But really, it's a question of emphasis, and one is limiting. It's important to me, not you, right? Like maybe you have a fight with your boyfriend or your mom, right? Well, studying English is important to me. It doesn't matter if it's not important to you, right? Studying English is important for me, right? I'm the reason it's important. Okay, I'll answer one last question, guys, because it's also related to prepositions. By the way, I think we had a preposition-focused show a while back. I can't remember what number, but there's a whole show about prepositions, and we did cover some of these questions before. I'm going to be really quick here and simple. Okay. Remember what I just said about to. To expresses something is moving from me to you, from Vancouver to Brazil. Okay? When you say talk to you, it implies that the conversation is going one direction. Okay? Right now, I am talking to you. My words that I talk are leaving me, from me, to you. One direction. Nobody's talking to me. Okay? The preposition with is a little bit different. It's not about movement. With is not about movement. It's about equality. Together. Okay? Now, sometimes, depending on the meaning, there's overlap. There's some similarity. But generally, talk to is one direction. Now, let's say you're mad at your friend. Oh, I'm really angry at my friend. Tomorrow, I'm going to go tell him that I'm angry at him. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him my thoughts. Well, what happens? Tomorrow you go to talk to your friend and say, you know what? That thing you said about me, it really made me mad. Well, eventually your friend is going to talk. He's going to say, oh, Paul, I'm sorry I made fun of your hair. Eventually the conversation will go two directions. So then it kind of changes into my friend and I talked with my friend. But first, you might be talking in one direction, right? Usually when you want to tell someone something bad or negative, or your boss, you did something wrong and your boss is going to talk to you. You're going to listen, the boss will talk. That's talk to you. Now the conversation might grow and change and go back and forth. At that point, your boss isn't just talking to you, you're talking to your boss and back and forth. So now you can say, talk with my boss. With implies together, equal, right? So if you want to go to a movie, you might go with your friend, right? With your friend, together. That's the difference between to and with this kind of expression. Talk to, talk with. Talk to is one directional, right? The teacher talked to us. I went to lunch and I talked with my friend, right? We talked back and forth, two directions. That's the difference, right? And you use these words the same way in the structure. Grammatically, the structure will be the same, but the meaning conveyed by the preposition is a little different, okay? Guys, we're out of time, so I'm going to say good night or good morning, depending on where you are. I know some of you are on the other side of the world in places like Nepal, Bangladesh, Japan. So thank you for joining the show tonight. Just to summarize, guys, if you don't know already, subscribe to the channel, Hardboiled English with Teacher Paul, or Teacher Paul's Hardboiled English, and you can find all the videos there. If you need extra help, I am available for private lessons, so please contact me at the website teacherpaulsclassroom.com. And next week, let's talk about next week. Our show will be on Friday night. A little bit different. Sometimes we do Friday night, sometimes we do Thursday. Friday nights are useful, Friday night in Canada, because it means it's Saturday morning in Asia, so it allows our Asian viewers and fans to join us too. So Friday, January 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, PST. That's the west coast of Canada and the US. Until then, guys, thank you for joining us. I hope I helped you solve some English mysteries. And if not, join me next week and we'll work on it some more. I know time is limited sometimes. We end up not getting to everyone's questions. So if I didn't answer your question, I apologize. I'm going to write them down and I'll answer them tomorrow, next week when there's some spare moments. Okay? Until then, guys, stay safe, stay cool.